Good evening, everyone. This is Rodney with the Triton Wave Market Outlook for Monday, January 13th, 2014. And this is brought to you by Triton Wave Consulting, which is the home of the Triton Waves. The Triton Waves are early warning market timing indicators used in all time frames in all markets worldwide. All right, let's start off by looking at the S&Ps over the last 2 or 3 weeks. This line in the sand up here, let me get a pointer, show you exactly what I mean. This purple line right here is 1836, right in here, and that has been, this is a weekly chart, and it's been up here for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and this was my projection at one point a few weeks ago as a possible turning point. It's the if I draw out this chart for those of you who are joining for the first time, this is a projection from a 1272 extension from this high in '07 to this low in March of '09, and this is the 1272, and it just can't seem to get through that. Right now, as I'm doing this, it's 10:30 Sunday evening on the 12th of January, and the S&P is down 475, and that puts us at let me see, at 1833. So that is now 5 points below. It's been 10 points above, but right now we're 5 points below this line right here. If we look at the let's pull up a daily chart on the right hand side to compare it. The daily doesn't look that bad, actually. It's spending since this move up here. Okay, since this jackknife move up here about 4 weeks ago, which is right in here, we've basically just gone sideways, up one day, down the next day. So this has been a sideways motion, and that's what you're seeing at the 1272 extension. And this is dropping off. T1's dropping off a little bit. T2's flat. T3 isn't doing anything. So it looks on the surface like this could go either way. I just don't think it's that easy a move to get through this. Let me see, from 2007 to now, it's approaching a 6.5 to 7 year 1272 extension. So I don't think it's going to be that easy to get through. Let's break this down a little bit more, and I'm going to make this on the left-hand chart. I'm going to make this a daily, so you can see the cursor as it goes across. And I'm going to make this a 144 Globex price. You can see the Globex right there. And let's see what this looks like. The Globex price, you can see from the chart, started heading down right about in here, and which is back here in November, end of November, beginning of December, and you can see where T1 crossed. Now these are actually good short-term, not short-term, but I like to use T1 on the daily. And then when we moved above here, we had that jackknife up, and also it held the minor Triton wave right here. So now we're up here. We came up here. This is the let me see. This is the spike up here, right in here, and this goes back to here, and we've seen to have held this area, and I know it's been up and down and up and down, but that's where we are right now. So T1 is showing the first break came right about in here at 1825, and then it moved up a little bit, but it did not do anything to get this above zero, and in fact it went below zero right about here in the second week, the first week in January, and now you can see on T2 how this almost nailed the top right there and almost nailed the bottom right here. And now T2 is below 0. So I'm not favoring this on the upside right now. In fact, I'm looking for more downside action. And let's do the Globex price on the 55 compared to the daily. And you can see that this chart goes all the way out to the beginning of December. Let's do here. Okay, so this is December where this cursor is right here, and December over here. So let's mark that. Okay, so this is the end. This is where this chart is right here is where it is over here. And you can see on T1, this started to go below 0 when it went below the minor wave of the minor Triton wave, went above here, right in here, and then it stayed above until the small wave and the large wave went above 0. Now, except for this little bit in here, it went down. It did go down. It headed toward the minor wave, and then this went above 0, and it started taking off. But it really didn't take off a lot. And right now we're hovering right just above 0. So it wouldn't take much for the 55 to go below. If we look at a even smaller time frame, you can see that right now, as the S&Ps are down 425, it's gone. T1 has gone below 0 right here. So it's just something to look out for. As I said in the past, if we swoosh down, we could easily come down to 1820, and if that doesn't hold, which it may not, because there may be everybody seems to be in a panic mode. There's a step-by-step process of going up, but when they sell off, you can wipe out 6 or 7 days of gain in 1 or 2 days, or even 1 day. So it actually could come down to 7. You see where this is the 55 EMA on the daily, and it could hit the 55 again, and that's at 1790, which is about 1790 would be 43 points from here. And it's not hard to imagine that happening on a Monday when nobody's expecting anything. All right, turning our attention to gold. On the left-hand chart is the weekly. The right-hand chart is the daily. This is the this is spot plus electronic. So it gives you data. It gives me data on this weekly, going all the way back to March of 1975. So I have lots of data in here. So which means that this Triton wave, minor wave right here, that touched down on the weekly back in June of 2013, bounced up to a couple of these exponential moving averages, and then bounced down again on a weekly basis. It spent about 2 or 3 weeks here at this minor wave. Excuse me. And it seems to have caught a bid here. It is possible that this is going to move up to 1278 on the weekly chart. But as I'm looking at this, I'm looking at some very huge, it started to move down here back in May of 2012. This is May 2012. And then it moved up for a few weeks and then just absolutely unloaded. So T1's down, T2's down, T3's down, T4 has been down since September, and T5 is moving its way down. So what I'm saying is that any move to the upside is a temporary move. Now, it held the major wave on the daily, this light purple one right here, held a major wave on the daily, dipped below it, came back up it, and now is at the 55 period moving average. Right now we are, it seems to be holding up. It did a nice bounce here. And let me pull this in a little bit more here. This is really, you know, you can see the spike over these trend over these. Let me draw this out a little bit. You can see the spike over the generally the spike over these EMAs is about that's the top of that EMA. This is the top of this series of EMAs. So these are about, you know, like 20 points. This is about 30 points, and then they just like boom, just take you out to the back shed. So it could be, you see this little move here is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's about 12 days long here, and we're now 3, 6, 9, 12. We're about 14. We're about 12, 14 days. So wouldn't be surprised if this did hold, because T1 is like half above zero, half below zero. The longer wave on T2 is just at zero. You can see right here it's marked just below zero. So we could see just a little bit of action to the upside and then boom down here. So if we look at, if we make this a shorter time frame one, let's look at the so we already know what this looks like. Actually, I'm gonna make this a daily so you can see the comparisons of what's going on with the 144. Most of my charts are in electronic, so I'm going to change them over to that. I just use the spot and the electronic because they have a lot more data going back years. So let's make this a 144 chart. And I was looking for this 144. Now this goes back to November, and I was looking for this minor wave to hold, and it held. When it came back up here, it held here. It held at this point and became a nice sell-off. Came back up here when the wave started to go above zero, and kissed right off that line, new low. This moved above zero, came up to this line. And I sat with this for hours and hours wondering whether to go long or short here. And then it started coming down, but T1 never went below zero, and neither did T2, 3, 4, and it looks like T5 has just gone above zero in the last couple hours. So there is a possibility that this could just right now is not the time to short gold, basically. If it does come down, it may be, well, okay. On the 144, it's not the time to short it. So let's do a shorter time frame. And I'm going to make this now a 55 to see what's going on. And only the 55 is only telling me. I'm going to move this out so you can get a better perspective. Now this held also. The minor wave held here. It held in here, held here. It went above a little bit and then sideways and then just did a reversal to the downside. Then it, for the most part, it held except for a few dollars above. Came down, came up to here, came down, and then poked through. So this whole area between the major and the minor wave is kind of called the neutral territory, and it's very shortable as long as below these lines, and long if it goes above these lines. And right now it's in neutral territory, bumping up against the major Triton, the Triton major wave right here on the 55. Now that may not be true on, let's look at the 21 and see if we can get something more from that. 21 actually looks a little bit better, but it looks like it might be, it was down, it was, excuse me, it was in between the major and the minor wave until it went down, and then it came down. This is good for like a let me see, 29, 39 points, and it came back up to the minor wave, went through it a little bit, came down. Then it flirted in between that territory, and then it took off. So this is like blue sky on the upside, and T2 was, because it was above zero, this is a buy. This becomes a buy right in here at 1229, and it wasn't a big point move, but it went to 1249. Okay, but once it gets up there, you definitely have to pay attention to what these waves are doing. And on the 21 minute excuse me, Globex price, T2 goes below zero. At that point, you just want to get out. And then you can look at this time frame. If it starts beginning, if T3 then joins the group of T1 and T2, at this point you can play it down to this intersection of where the major and the minor come together. So it flirted a little bit below, it came above it, and then as these started moving above zero, you take your cue from, if you want to get in early, if you want a little more security, you wait for T2. If you want even more security, you wait for T3, and at that point it took off from 1229 to 12 to about what it is right now, which is 1248, and we're talking about 11 o'clock at night. So the way I'm looking at it is, right now it has upside, but I'm looking at these moves from here to here, and where it's let me get a circle here. Let me erase that. Bing. Okay, where this is here, and I'm just looking at the cycle move, the small cycle moves, you know, like when it went up here, and then down here. This cycle almost looks like it's getting tired. It's a little bit to the downside, right in here, but the length of time that it's already spent up there, it just looks like it's tired, because they're all about you know, like 4 or 5 day moves. If we move very close on a much smaller scale, let's just take a look at the 987. That looks like it might be getting a little bit tired here. If we look even at the 144, can't tell anything there. Let's see this. Okay, this is kind of interesting because you can actually, no matter what it's doing on the larger scale, like the weekly and the daily or anything, if you just want some make a few points here and there. These are moves from like 1245 up to 1248. You're like 4 or 5 point moves. This above, below, and you can pretty much catch like 3, 4, 5 points each time that happens. This didn't go below to here, so this is playable up to here, and this actually happened tonight. And this went below zero, and it has dumped 7 points down to the minor exponential moving average. All right, I wanted to alert you to the last 2 days of the special. This is the 12th. This runs out at midnight on the 14th. It's a service that I'm offering through Triton Wave Consulting, and it's a consulting service using just gold for the signals that I just showed you on buys or sells that I will present a text to you when, or an email, whatever you prefer, whether it's long or short. I'm looking for experienced traders and who know how to set their own parameters for profit stop losses and trailing stops. And the gold market can be volatile, and I expect it to be volatile in all of 2014. But volatility to a seasoned trader can translate into very big profits. So what I'm offering is the 2013 consulting fee of $3,500 per month. It's not refundable. It must be paid in advance, and you can stop at any time. It's not automatically renewed. You get an invoice every month. It's your choice to stop any time. After January 14th, 2014, which is on today's the 12th, so it'd be Monday, Tuesday at midnight, the price will go to $5,500. If you're looking at this now and you want to take advantage of this, you can lock in a monthly fee of $3,500, and it will apply as long as you remain a client. If you want to get in touch with me, get rid of this. If you want to get in touch with me, just send me an email at tritonwaveguy@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great evening and good luck trading. And I'll see you at the next update.